As I always ask you, if you like this reading, please like, subscribe, leave a comment if you'd like to, whatever you like to do, I don't mind. And yeah, I'll start you reading right now. I'm sorry for you, for Virgo, lovely Virgo. So the first card you have for your past is the Star. Okay, so this is a little bit mixed, what I'm seeing in this card. I think this is about you. I think this is about you starting to realise what your worth is. And, I think it's about you turning your back on something. And I think something was promised to you, and I think you decided to turn your back on that thing. I'm actually seeing someone making some big promises, but I don't think there was much behind them. There wasn't any substance behind them. I'm getting a not so good feeling when I'm thinking about this, because I think whatever these promises were about, this was going to be life-changing. I think you were promised some really, really big things. I think you might have even rearranged your life around these false promises. If you look at this woman, she has her back to the star. And the star represents hope, wishing on things. And you did have hope for this. You really, really did. You were wishing that this was going to happen, but it was more than wishing. You were promised this, so you expected this. But I think in the end, you probably just realised that, there was no point in having hope for things that didn't actually exist. So yeah, of course, this is horrible, but you're coming out of that. You're turning your back on all of that. You were trusting yourself instead of this person. And this woman's totally alone as well. So I don't know whether you've left them or but if you haven't, I think you're probably either thinking about that or you're in the process of doing that. Even though obviously this didn't feel very good at the time, of course, there is some good coming out of this, because you've realised this and you're not wasting any more time on this person or any of these false promises anymore. So that's a good thing. I mean, if you had to keep on, of course, it felt better when you had that hope, but it was false. And so, you were going to find out in the end anyway. So better to find out when you're dead, even if it was down the line, even if it was years later, at least you found out, and at least you didn't keep on going along with this. So the next card you have your past, the Hermit. Yeah, so obviously, when you found out about this, I think what happened was you just really wanted to be on your own, or at least away from this person for a while. I keep on seeing this sort of big, almost life-changing thing that was promised to you. And I think you geared your life toward this happening, if that makes sense. It was like this thing was on your mind all the time. Maybe you went to plan things or whatever, or do things, and, you were thinking something like, oh, I can't plan that for that time because I've got this really big thing coming up that's promised to me, or, I can't do this because of this thing. So, it really affected a lot of different areas of your life. And I think when you realised this, I think you just had to rethink everything in your life. The whole thing changed. It was like it was turned upside down. So if this is all resonating with you, I'm not sure what stage you're at right now, but this is a massive change for you, a massive change, for your relationship, and a massive change for your life as well. And, it's just going to take some time to process this for you, and also for them, because I think they realised that you saw what was going on, and I think they're going to have to change how they feel in their future as well. That's what I'm seeing. So it's going to be a lot for both of you. So the last card you have your past, the Nine of Pentacles. Yeah, look at all these cards. Look at all the past cards. They're all about being alone, all of them. So yeah, if you haven't physically moved away from this person yet, you definitely will. It's everywhere. It's all over this. So yeah, it's not going to be easy to get your head around this big change, because, you're having to shift your whole mindset away from focusing on this person, away from focusing on these kind of false promises, and from the life you thought you had this life ahead of you, and it just disappeared in front of you. That's what I'm seeing, just disappeared. So Now, I think once you've turned a corner, you'll feel a lot better. You'll feel a lot more confident to be by yourself. You know, this woman's content on her own. She's happy on her own. She has everything she needs. And I'm not saying you're going to be happy on your own forever and you're going to be on your own forever. That's not what I'm saying. But this is something that you need to be for a while. You need to be on your own for a while. You know, just to process things, just to be by yourself, just to get through this. I'm seeing a couple of other things here. I don't know if this person was a financial problem for you or even a financial drain for you as well, because I'm seeing you taking control of money again, sort of feeling a bit worried about this to start with, worrying about money, maybe worrying about how you're going to cope on your own. But I think you'll be better off. I really do. When you finally do have to cope on your own, where you might be now, but I think you are definitely going to be better off. Maybe not on paper, might not look that way, but if this resonates, the big thing is you'll feel more in control of things financially. Whether you have less or whatever you have, you'll be in control of this, and so you'll be in a better position because you'll be making all the decisions by yourself. So yeah, you're going to be better off financially and in so many different ways. You really, really are. The other thing I'm seeing is that they might find it a bit difficult to let go of you. They might keep on coming back to you. I'm just looking at this falcon, and you know, falcons are trained to come back to their owners again and again and again. They keep on coming back. So when you do finally get away physically, if you haven't already, they'll probably struggle with this, and yeah, they'll be back. They'll be back a few times, I think. So just be aware of that as well. They are going to keep on coming back. So the first card you have your presence, the Nine of Wands. Yeah, again, you're coming out of this. You've been messed around with. Your head's been messed with. You know, look at this man with his bandage around his head. So his head's really been messed with. So, and look at where he's come from. If you can just see that, just behind him, there are all these rocks. They're very, very barren. There's nothing growing on them. So yeah, you're coming from a place where there was a lot of rockiness, a lot of problems, and there was no true growth there. There aren't any trees on these rocks. The only growth here is in these wands. So, and he's holding on to the wands. So the growth's with you, by yourself. The growth isn't in this past. The growth isn't with this person. And these wands are forming a barrier. So I think when this person comes back to you, you might talk to them initially, but after that, I think you might throw up these barriers and you might kind of put these barriers up between them and you, because I think it might just be too much to keep on talking to them. So that's what I'm seeing in that card. So the next card you have your presence, the Ace of Swords. Okay, so yeah, I think this is really good. This is looking really good. This is what I'm seeing. You know, once you've gotten over this whole thing, once you've gotten over the worst of this emotionally, I think you're just going to come into this time of just knowing what you want, knowing where you're going, clarity. This card's about pure clarity. It's almost like you're going to wake up from a really good sleep. This is what it's going to feel like. Waking up, knowing everything's clear, everything's sure. You know, you're going to suddenly feel back in charge of everything again, back in charge of your life and all of that. So if you're going through the worst of this right now, you're still struggling with all of this, if you're still dealing with these problems, worrying about money, worrying about everything else, there is going to be a time in your life when you wake up and everything's clear. Everything's perfectly clear. You know exactly what's going to happen. You're going to be sure of yourself, in charge, and all of that. So just know that day is definitely coming. And I'm not just saying that. This is what I'm seeing. I'm also getting this feeling of knowing something, and maybe you're going to decide to keep this to yourself, or maybe you already are. I don't know what stage you're at with this. This is a completely different situation. I think this might be about a family member, and I think it's quite sensitive actually, this information. So, you know, it's not like you're hiding things for bad reasons, you're not keeping secrets. What you're doing is, I think you're trying to protect someone, and I think you're protecting someone from a lot of talk or gossip or something like that. And I think this person's going to reveal this eventually. But for the time being, I think you're keeping this a secret. I think you're keeping this to yourself. And I think knowing this information and keeping it to yourself might be putting a bit of pressure on you as well, having to kind of keep this from people. But it's definitely for the best, I think, because I keep on seeing a lot of talk, gossip, all of that kind of thing. And so, I think you're doing the right thing to protect them from all of that, if that's what you're doing. I'm actually seeing, and I'm feeling this as well, some quite fierce, strong protection here with this big sword that's kind of, this hand holding up. It's like you're protecting them from everything else, from the gossip and everything else. So, it's like you really care about this person and you really feel as if you need to protect them really, really fiercely. So, yeah, you're doing the right thing. It is going to come out eventually, but for the moment, I think you're doing the absolutely right thing. So if you are keeping this to yourself, if you are kind of doing this, protecting someone, you're doing the right thing. That's what I'm seeing in that card. So the last card you have your presence, the Empress. Yeah, I don't know if this person's a child or maybe they're just younger than you. But yeah, you care about them. You care about them really deeply. You have these really nurturing, protective feelings toward them. And, they're grateful. They're grateful for that. I just feel as if I need to tell you that. You might not realize that. So that's why I think I needed to tell you that. The other thing I'm seeing here is ideas. The Empress is obviously a mother. So she gives birth, but I'm seeing you giving birth to ideas. And, you have the Ace of Swords above this as well, so which is about clarity. So you have clarity in these ideas. It's like you're going to have these ideas, if you haven't already, and you're going to know exactly what you want to do with them. It's going to be very, very clear to you. Now, I think you're going to get some ideas and they're going to be creative. I think there's something you're already doing as a sideline, maybe like a small business or something like that. But I think you might be having some problems with that. Maybe it isn't going in the way you want it to. Maybe you're not feeling that good about whatever this thing is. So I think you might eventually stop doing that actually, and you might take up this new thing. Yeah, it's definitely creative and you can definitely do well out of this, especially around the end of the year. I think it's probably going to start to pick up or take off for you at the end of November or in December, something like that. That's what I'm seeing. So it can definitely take off and be some kind of money-making thing for you. The Empress can be about abundance as well. But there's a lot of love, a lot of care there. So put care into what you're doing, and I think it is going to pay off for you. Definitely around, I keep on seeing November and December. That's when it's going to pay off. It might be that you do a festive kind of thing or something. It might be that, because that's around that time. I don't know, but that's what I'm seeing now. So the first card you have, your future, is the Five of Pentacles. Yes. Okay, so I think this axe, whoever this is, I'm seeing in the Star card, it's probably an axe. They're really going to be struggling with this separation, I think. I don't know if you're going to completely block them. You might do that, you might not. But there's some kind of shutting out here, shutting the door, shutting people out. These poor people are walking around in the cold. They're trying to find the door of this church. They're walking around and around and they can't find it. They can't see where the door is. There's no door on this card. So, I think this person's going to keep on trying to find their way back to you. Again, this is reflecting what I was seeing in the Nine of Pentacles. I don't know whether they were relying on you financially. I'm seeing that as well in this card. I am seeing them going through some financial struggles, and I think they're just going to find it hard to cope on their own generally as well. Yeah, they might need some kind of help. That's what I'm seeing. Might be financial help. It might be emotional help. Might be both. Might be a lot of things all tied in together. I'm sort of in two minds about this, because I can see that as a partner, they're probably not the right person for you. I'm seeing that all over this reading. And I think you know that. But if you want to help them, of course, that's up to you. That's fine. Go ahead and help them if you want to do that. But I think they're still going to have this idea in the back of their mind that they ultimately what they ultimately want is to get back together with you again. The other thing I'm seeing is a little bit of a warning around money. They might want financial help, so that's a warning there as well. So the next card you have your future is the Two of Cups. Yeah, look at this. Look at these two people getting together in love, and passion with this Lion here. This is what they ultimately want. They might be saying to you, oh, let's just be friends. I just want to talk to you. Or, oh, I need a bit of help. Or, oh, I just miss talking to you. I just want to talk to you about this and that. No, what their ultimate aim is to get back together with you. And another aim might be, I don't know whether this is correct or not, but I am seeing it everywhere, so I'm going to say it. They might want some kind of financial help as well. Now, they're going to definitely want more with you. They're going to want more conversations with you. And again, they're going to need some help. They are struggling. So just keep in mind that there might be some kind of ulterior motive in there. It might not be. It might just be that they're struggling and they're asking outright for help. They might genuinely need help. It's up to you to decide that. But I am seeing warnings here. Now, yeah, if this is all resonating with you, this is the warning I'm seeing. Just remember that freedom you felt that I was seeing in the Nine of Pentacles, because I was seeing in the Nine of Pentacles, it's a beautiful, beautiful card. I was seeing this woman relaxing, being less stressed, and also I was seeing financial freedom there. And I'm getting this feeling that finances and all of that is a big area where they're struggling. And I'm getting a lot of warning signals around that as well. And warning signals around this whole thing. Warning signals around them, I should say. So just keep all of that in mind. Really keep that in mind. I don't want to say don't help this person if they do need help. But I want to protect you. This reading's for you. So you're the one I want to protect. That's why I'm seeing these warnings, and that's why I have to tell you. So keep that all in mind. So the last card you have for your futures, the Six of Pentacles. Yeah, look at this. This is what you have to be careful of. I think they might want some kind of financial help from you or something like that. Now, I might be wrong, but it's everywhere here. It's here, it's in this card, it's in the Five of Pentacles, it's in the Nine of Pentacles. You cannot escape that. If I wanted to pretend it's not there, I couldn't, because it's just there. It's like a big siren standing out in front of my head. I can see it everywhere. So, if this is really serious, if this is a really serious situation and they need your help, I can see why you might want to help them. And that's fine if that's what you want to do. But don't forget that there were promises made to you and they weren't fulfilled. And there were big promises, big things. So, be kind if you want to be kind. Be generous if you want to be generous. That's absolutely fine. But don't lose your memory. Don't forget what happened. And don't forget what happened between you. And don't forget what they promised, if that all resonates with you. So that's all I want to say about that. So Virgo, I won't say I hope this resonated, but general readings, as you know, they can't always resonate with everyone. But again, if you like this reading, please like, subscribe, leave a comment if you'd like to, and thank you so much for watching.